Welcome back to Bay 100. I just did a segment a little while ago on behavior health, but that ain't where I'm about to go right now. I want to get a little personal, and it's just going to take not even that much time. I wanted to address our people. And what I mean by our people, I have a question to my audience out here. Why do we act like crabs in a barrel? Why do we always have to pull each other down instead of help each other up? And some of you, I'm about to say something to, you know who you are. And I'm not going to throw no names out there because I'm not that type of person, to put shade on somebody's name. But I would like to say that I am so grateful that God had changed some of my ways of doing things. Because if he didn't, half of y'all ought to bust your head. You ought to bust your head. And you know what I'm talking about. Now, I don't have a problem with you being jealous or envy because that's part of it. Because if you ain't jealous or envy, then that means I ain't doing nothing. But for those of you that got something you want to say to me personally, you know where I'm at. You know where I be at. Now, it's not that I'm calling you out on your shit. I'm just letting you know, be a man about your word and come speak to me. Come sit at the table and say whatever it is that you need to say to me personally instead of running behind the curtains and throwing a rock and hiding your hand. Because I'm a real one. And we could get on this table and we can talk about it. But I don't think some of y'all can. I think some of y'all got to hide behind the counter or behind the door and whisper and say things that don't have no meaning to it. But you can't tell the person yourself personally what you mean. But here it is. I'm giving you an invitation to come sit down. Sit down at the table and come tell me what's on your mind. Because you know what? I ain't done nothing to none of you. And you know who I'm talking about. But if you have a problem with me, you're invited anytime to come sit down and we can have a peaceful, a peaceful resolution or conversation to whatever it is that's troubling you. Because it's a sad situation that we cannot, for what reasons I don't understand. And then you wonder why other nationalities look at us and say, well, them black folks are crazy. Yeah, because we act crazy. Because we act like we can't stand each other. We act like we can't help each other. We always got to put each other down, talk about one another. I ain't doing nothing but trying to get somebody a platform to talk on, to maybe share something they want to share. But no, that even bothers some of y'all. But you know what? Good, because that means I'm doing my job. Because if I wasn't doing my job, it wouldn't bother you. You know, haters are everywhere. They come out like roaches. You understand me? Soon as they see something good going on, some food or something, here they come. But I just want to say this to my people, and I'm not going to stay long about it. And y'all know who I am talking about. I've been crossed. I've been double crossed. I've been talked about for no reasons that I don't understand and don't give a damn, really, because I'm a soldier for real. Like I told you, I said it before. My name is good all over. Can you say the same? And for those that know who I'm talking about, sit at the table with me and let's let the world know. Let's talk about it. And I just had to get this out because I'm kind of tired of hearing it. You know, you don't have to go behind my back and do things. Come talk to me. Be a man. You claim you're one, so be one. Stop being an undercover bitch. Yeah, I said it. And I don't normally curse on these things. But some of y'all just rubbing me wrong, and I just don't like it. And I'm going to tell you like this, whatever I'm saying, I stand up to it. If you have a problem with it, reach out at me, baby. I'm here. Now, for those of you that support me, I love y'all. Y'all keep up the good work. Come on my show, and we'll have a good time. And you can share anything you like to share, and I will support you. But for y'all that don't support this, keep your distance, please, and keep your ass away from me. And I'm going to leave on that note. Peace. Add that to it. Welcome to Bay 100. Good morning, everyone. I am greeted here by a special guest of mine. It goes by the name of Greg. Let me read a little bit about Greg here. So, Greg, I see that you're a native of San Francisco, grew up in the Ingleside district, right? In the Lakeview area. After a short period in Texas, right? So you lived a short period in Texas as well, huh? I see here where you was a teen, and you had also suffered from a gunshot from a person down in Texas, and you became a community leader and an advocate for the homeless. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about that, Greg, and tell me a little bit about this, a little bit about behavior health.
Hey, well, thank you for having me on. Let's see. I guess I should start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know, my thing right now, I've been a strong advocate for the displaced community, as well as a strong advocate for behavioral health. And the reason that I got into behavioral health was that my older brother rather, was living in the Tenderloin, and not for some strange reason, we found out it was the lead paint in the unit that he was in. I had him acting strangely, and I came in one day, and my brother was in his room, fully dressed in a three-piece suit with a pool cue in his hand, talking about he was going to his birthday party. Well, his birthday was in June, and this is like September. And so I knew there was something going on with my brother. But when I went to go find help for him through the Department of Public Health and the different agencies that are available, it was very, very difficult to do, almost impossible. And so then I started looking at how many other people that are struggling with this problem. And you know yourself, Will, when we were kids growing up, we had that aunt or that uncle that was a little bit peculiar, and we thought might be a little bit strange, but the family members never talked about it. They never said, "Oh no, that's Auntie Susie. You know how she is," and you know. But the bottom line is the stigma, especially with Black folks, is great so far as behavioral health go, and I feel that we need to turn around and break that stigma, and believe that. Not only that this is a disease, but it's something that can be cured. And if it can't be cured, there are different tools that can be used by the person to turn around and live a productive life. Now, myself, I'm a chronic depressant. Matter of fact, during my displaced days, many days I thought about taking a long walk off a short pier and just taking one big deep breath and let it be all over with, okay? That was never discussed or explained to me until I started talking to my doctor about the way I was feeling. And fortunately, shout out to Dr. Dahman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fortunately, she was able to turn around and diagnose it and work with me to find different, I call them Mac Rice, but they're psychotics that might help me in my journey to understanding where I'm at with my condition and better deal with my condition.
So, not to cut you off, let me ask you this question. So, at that particular time, did you feel as though you were suffering from some mental health issues?
I knew there was something going on. Yes, other people was running around enjoying themselves, and I would often ask myself why day after day I would get up feeling just worthless, helpless. Of course, the shelter system isn't kind neither. So, the changes and turnarounds of being displaced and going from here to there, from line to line, and that takes its toll on the person also.
Yes.
I'm fortunate, Will, because I was able to address my issue. I had people that took the time to turn around and work with me, and I was able to turn around and not particularly recover because I still am a depressant. I have my days as well.
Okay.
But find the tools to be able to better make my quality of life better, and I hope the people around me as well.
Yeah. So, from what I'm seeing today, because like you said, back in the days, it wasn't discussed a lot about like, okay, let me just use this as an example. And I don't mean anything by it, but when we were children, this what we used to say when we didn't know no better. When we seen somebody that had mental issues, we would say, oh, well, is he mentally retarded?
Or
because that's all we
crazy.
knew. Oh, is he
I
crazy?
thought you was gonna say crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
that too.
Yes.
But back when we was kids in the 60s, early 60s and 70s, we didn't know no better. I mean, it wasn't called just straight mental health. We just thought, oh, he crazy.
Right.
He tripping.
And
But now
nobody
today, mental health is so rapid that a lot of people are experiencing mental health and don't even know it.
Well,
What do you think about that?
the reason, and I hate to say it like this, but if you look around, the behavioral health population is starting to grow at an exponentially large rate. The two bad things about that, well, one good thing and two bad things.
Okay.
The one good thing is that it is being recognized now.
Yes.
And they're taking, they're using, they're using better terminology these days, and they're trying to give people back a little bit of respect and dignity, because this is a health issue. This is not, even back in our day, they thought it was hoodoo. Folks had a curse on them and those kind of things. No, there are things that happen. Trauma is one of the major factors in your behavioral health becoming disoriented. Even as a kid, I used to tell, where I work at Rams now, I tell folks that, you've been traumatized ever since the doctor pulled you out and slapped you on your butt. It's been downhill ever since. And understanding that is another way of trying to adjust your mood toward and be open to the fact that maybe there might be some kind of behavior issues going on with yourself. I mean, you start at home, but then you can turn around and help others. Okay.
Well, you know what? So, what I find so intriguing, mental health is I can't put a title to it or describe it, but I just know it's rapid today. And if you go out and you look in the streets, for instance, if we go down to TL, you see people down there losing their mind, right? Back then, we never seen it. at this rate. I mean, I don't know if it's something people eating. I don't know if it's just something people drinking. Just like I heard a study the other day, not to change the subject, about now. I don't know if it's what we eating or what we're doing, but it's a lot of people having kidney failure, and they don't know what it's from. So, it's a lot of things going on that we can't explain. So
They
give me a
know what
little
it's
insight
from.
on that.
Look, they know what it's from. It's from all
Talk
those
to me.
pharmaceuticals that's being issued to people out there. And believe me, well, I have to say, my heart really goes out to those that are out there in Tenderloin, because I'm not sure if you're aware of it, or they're just now coming up to this wonderful discovery that substance use and addiction goes with behavioral health issues. Okay, if you're gonna treat the substance user, you have to turn around and look at the behavioral health issues that might go along with that substance use.
Exactly.
And they're looking at it now, and I'm glad that they're trying to compile the two, because a holistic approach to substance use disorder or behavioral health disorder, they are kind of intertwined with each other. Now, I'm fortunate to work for an agency, Richmond Area Multi-Services, which is right here on Market Street. And we have a peer wellness center that's run by, I'd say, 20 of us. And we're just peers. We're not anybody that has a PhD or MD or any of those alphabets. But and I was explaining that to you earlier. The idea of being able to hear someone tell their story and let you feel comfortable with understanding what your story is, and maybe be encouraged to even tell your story to help another person out, is huge. It's huge for behavioral health. It's huge for harm reduction. I have people that all the way from, well, actually, the oldest member there is 78 years old. And he uses that, one, to get out of the house. One of the two things that really promotes substance use disorder and poor mental health is isolation. A person gets so comfortable in their immediate surroundings, and then a little bit of that's depression too. Gets so comfortable and so beat down by society and the things that go on in life, that they stay in the house. And I was like that myself, 4 or 5 days at a time.
So would you say you was suffering from a little depression?
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. But that also opened the doors for my substance use also.
Okay.
Now I'm talking back in the day. Today, I have a regimen of making sure that I get out of the house at least 3 times a day. I make sure that I interact as much as I can with human life, whether it's talking to you today or walking my dog.
Yeah.
That keeps my mind focused and alert. We was talking about the folks in the Tenderloin. Most of the folks out there in the Tenderloin already are aware of their substance use disorder, but nobody is taking the time to see what trauma has happened to that person, where their mental state is at with those trauma scars. And if you look out there's quite a few of them that don't have that care. And you know what's the worst part about it, Will?
What's that?
Is that there's not enough people our color that's out there trying to treat folks. And the ones that do have those alphabets behind them and that are really committed, they're in places like New York, Hollywood, Colorado, you know. So I'm put that out there to you guys in the studio audience. You guys, if you know of somebody that's in the behavioral health industry, please encourage them to pick San Francisco to come help out, because we need you. We definitely need you.
You know what I find intriguing, and it behooves me. It really does. Is how do you treat mental health?
Well, the one thing that we've learned over the years is that you don't ignore it.
Right.
Okay. You can turn around and make as many excuses as you want about Uncle Bill, but Uncle Bill is suffering. Uncle
Right.
Bill has some issues that he don't even know about.
Right.
So one thing that we've learned, or I have learned in the training I've had at Rams, is that you have to use a accept me as I am approach. You are not, I can't judge anybody, by the good grace of God, go I. And with the mental assistance through therapists and things like that, that particular person, if they're being treated, will come to our place and get the holistic approach, because there's a lot of ways to heal. Meditation works well for turning around and calming down the body. I run 2 groups here in the city. One is called the Sankofa Healing Circle, and that is a group that I try to keep Afrocentric, because my theory is that you, just like the Sankofa bird, you have to take the things that you've learned from the past and bring them to the forward so that you can turn around and be nourished by it. But the most important part is for you to be able to nourish others as you go through your they always say take the good part of your past and bring it to the front. I say take all of that and bring it to the forefront, because you learn from the bad as well as the good. So that's why I'm there as a peer counselor, because today my story is important, because one, it's mine, and 2, there's other people out there that's probably had this condition and has suffered tremendously and never have had any help, or never thought, too embarrassed because of the way mental health was looked at in the past, to turn around and even say that they have a mental condition. Some may know it and choose not to try to accept any treatment. And some out there don't even know it at all. And that's the part that we need to turn around and get to. Knowing, I tell my members also that knowing is half the battle, okay? If you know about it, if you know better, you do what? You do better. So, yeah, like I said, I have the class here at Rams, and then I also am a advocate for the LGBTQ community. So I do a LGBTQ and supporters healing circle up at Booker T. Washington Community Center. And in that group, again, it's the same thing with the Sankofa Healing Circle. I want to bring to the forefront that there are Black people out here that are LGBTQ. Oh, is that a surprise? No, it's not a surprise. But a lot of people that are African American or people of color have a stigma or a reputation that they feel that they have to keep up because of the peer pressures that are around. So I want to turn around and bust both them stigmas. One, nobody in 2025 is crazy.
Right.
Everybody here has a condition, and whether it's a physical condition that you could see, or is it a condition that folks cannot see, that's the difference. Okay, some conditions are visible and some conditions are not visible. They're both disabilities.
Both disabilities.
Yes.
Yeah. That's real talk there. That's real talk. So your organization is. So what do one have to do to become part of you guys' organization?
At Rams, we have a very low barrier of entrance. You just come in and fill out an application with us. We would prefer for you to have a therapist or a case manager or someone that's working with you also, so we can team up and find the best care for you while you're with us at the center. And that's pretty much about it. We'll sit down and have a conversation and see how you're at, where you're at that time, and what your needs are. What do you think that you might need from us? And we'll take it from there.
Now, how would they go about getting this caretaker? They go through a certain.
Well, usually most of the members that come to PwC are referred to us by EPH.
Okay.
But we do have walk-ins, and it's not a deal breaker if you don't have any therapist or a case manager. We'll try to help you, assist you to find in the right direction to where we could try to find somebody that will be able to take care of you. But again, Will, I tell you, that's a difficult challenge.
Yes.
Also, because there are very few therapists and psychologists of color. Mm-hmm. And then again, there's a lot of people that still are in denial of what kind of condition they are.
Right.
Like, again, we have a lot of people that are very upfront with their substance use.
Right.
They're very anxious to try to change that substance use. But you can't change the behavior or the condition until you understand the total picture. Okay, yes, you are smoking methamphetamine, but do you know that methamphetamine is going to have you hallucinating? It's going to have you turn around and thinking in the wrong direction that you're thinking. Just to get rid of that does not turn around and remove the scar. Like I said, trauma. This is trauma, and trauma lasts a lifetime. To be honest with you.
So in other words, it makes it worse.
Yes.
If you a drug user and you dealing with mental health at the same time, that don't do nothing but enhances what you're going through.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So one has to give, or both have to give.
And I'll give you another one too, Will. It's been my experience. And I've been with, I've actually been in the behavioral health business for about maybe 10 years. Mm-hmm. I was appointed to the behavioral health board by then supervisor Londa Breed. And after that, I started continuing it. And again, I told you about my brother. So that gave me a little vested interest in trying to keep my behavioral health in order.
Yes.
Yeah. And as we get to be a certain age, you guys, I encourage everybody to try to stay sharp. If you don't do nothing but do a crossword puzzle, sit down and play a video game where you have to pick out objects or something like that. That keeps your brain active and keeps it. Socialization is another one.
Right.
Come on out. Meet some people that might even have the same condition as you do. Exchange some stories. Most of and the reason I do the groups that I do right now is because a lot of healing can be done by just having the opportunity to say what's on your mind. And once you hear what you're thinking, I tell the members there that, once you turn around and say what is on your mind, you say, oh, did I say that? Then about 30 seconds later, they go, yeah, I said that and I meant it, because that process of what you hear or what you think in your mind may be totally different as to what you turn around and say in public. And once you put it out there, you have the opportunity to hear what other people feel about that. And then you be able to make your own decision on what direction you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that make a lot of sense to me, and and we're gonna make sure we leave the viewers, the people that's listening. I'm gonna leave them an email. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look in the camera and I'm gonna give you this email just in case you might need to get in touch with Greg to get through the program. You can go through one of my emails, which would be StevieHawk1961 at AOL.com. Yes, I said AOL.
Or you can contact me, Greg Ledbetter at ramsinc.org. We'll be more than happy to sit down and have a conversation with you.
Yes.
So
what we're saying is we do have programs out here for people that need help. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here. We all need some help. I need some.
No, you know something? I'm glad you said that, Will, because to be honest with you, everybody do.
Yes.
Okay? If you look at the climate of politics right now, that's stress and strain.
Woo!
The crime that's going on, although it's coming down in San Francisco, it's still going on.
Yeah.
Even an innocent victim walking down the street, you still hearing gunshots, you're hearing ambulance going back and forth. All of that's trauma, you guys. All of that has to have some kind of release. And if it doesn't have a healthy release, it's going to manifest itself in dis-ease. And that means a stomach ache, a headache, your heart start going bad, your blood pressure start going up, because you're keeping all of that inside.
Yeah.
So we need to find some healthy ways to turn around and release that, and also understand where we're at. I took a class on behavioral health. Back in the 30s and 40s, there was like 200 diagnoses for behavioral health. Now, there's over 5,060 different variations of behavioral health. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because when you get that many conditions, then where is the judge of normalcy? You know, if that's the case, if we have that many disorders in the world, then everybody has to have at least one of them. Right. So you need to, and I'll talk to you guys out there in the audience. If you have a primary care, turn around and have a conversation about your mental health and what you can do to keep your mental health. Not to say that if you end up with a disorder that you still can't live a functionable life. I have plenty of our members down right now that are understanding, struggling, but still trying to live a productive life.
Now, would I be stretching if I said this? And I'm going to put it out. To me, I don't know, maybe it's a conspiracy theory to me. A lot of medications that's been described to people, I think sometimes can cause a lot of mental health and a lot of stuff people go through too. Because when we get in these medications, it's masking the problem. It's not fixing it. It's just keeping it contained,
well,
I think.
Will, to be honest with you, I'm going to take the hierarchy away here. When you take them two letters away from that first name, doctor, it's just a regular person. They don't know any better than you do. Matter of fact, I would say that you know better than the doctor would so far as prescribing these drugs. I'll give you a perfect example. Well, when I first was diagnosed with depression, they had given me Zoloft to take. And at that time, trying to understand my condition, I really felt that this was helping me out. I was keeping upbeat and things like that. Well, about 3 weeks later, the wind blew in the wrong direction and I just started crying my eyes out. So I started realizing that, wait a minute, this here is masking something that I must be turning around and trying to keep inside.
Right.
So again, I had a conversation with my physician and I just let her know that this was not working for me.
Right.
And we experimented off and on. And I found that in my particular case, I had to take a more holistic approach to it. And that's another one that we'll talk about too, Will. Sometimes it's just a diet.
Right.
You
that
know,
too.
Right now, we're blessed to have Glide and St. Anthony's in this area that feeds breakfast. Well, Glide feeds breakfast, lunch, and dinner. St. Anthony does lunch. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm just talking about my own displaced experiences. What am I supposed to do after that? After 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
All of that starvation or depriving the body of nutrients, that has a tendency of turning around and making you think funny, making you act funny. And sometimes when you just address that particular issue and adjust it, people have a tendency of just bouncing right back.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a ailment. This is a dis-ease. This is something that was developed and it was triggered by something. And that's why I go back to say substance use disorder and behavioral health. The treatment of both issues need to be combined, because if one person has a behavioral health issue, I won't say 90%, but I'd say at least 65% of the time, it has to do with some kind of substance that they're using.
Yeah. Me personally, and I try to get some of my people to understand that we all human, right? When you getting medication and you've been seen by a doctor and you think they have the answer, but they have to remember, it's called a practice.
That's right.
And that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
They practicing on your ass. And see what worked and what don't.
Well, pharmaceuticals itself is supposed to be the practice or the understanding of poisons.
Yes.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm more of a holistic person these days.
Good.
And when I say holistic, and look, when I say holistics and substances, I guess I am a proud medical cannabis patient. Okay, I've been able to turn around and control my behavioral health issues, which is depression, by augmenting it with cannabis.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a harm reductionist. So, I don't particularly believe in abstinence. If you are doing something, let me turn around and educate you in the proper way of doing that. How is this helping your life out? If it's not helping your life out, maybe you might want to turn around and make a change. Because another one that I have to say about Black people,
come on with it.
Look, about Black people,
yes,
and their substances, is that to give us the opportunity to make our own choice is very rare. Very rare. We're always being told to do this or made strong suggestions to do that. But when a person have the opportunity to make their own decisions, they usually make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And believe me, and I'm not bashing abstinence neither, but I have had several of our members that has gone totally abstinent for years and relapse, and because of the tolerance level being so low for the substance that they was using, or because there's different things out there on the streets because they're changing every day,
Oh yeah.
most of them usually perish.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have a member that was 14 years clean. This is just recently. I'm talking the last 2 weeks. 14 years clean. Turned around and lost a family member. Decided he would turn around and go out, on one of those runs. First time going out on another run, took his life.
Yeah.
Why? Because fentanyl and methamphetamine are new drugs out there. I mean, it's not back in my day when there was crack cocaine. The only thing I would have to worry about is getting sold some soap.
Right.
Okay? Or
Right.
maybe some plaster or some paint or something like that.
Or some lemon heads.
Or lemon heads. Yeah, so you're right. So, we're in the same school.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new drug out there, a brand new experience that these folks are having. And it's having an adverse effect on it. Adverse effect on our community and the person as a whole. Like I said, I'm a community person, so that's part of my community out there too.
Yes.
I'm sure that they would do better if they knew better. Okay.
Yes.
I also feel that we have enough people that have money in this city to turn around and look at this problem and actually put some money behind helping these people out. It's not all about just you. It's about all of us.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And whether that person lives or dies should be a concern to all of us.
Yes. And I agree because, I don't speak on it a lot, but I worked in the field. Mm-hmm. I was a supervisor for 5 keys. Mm-hmm. And I can truly sit up here and say, I might have saved maybe 10 to 15 lives. I may have lost 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I did but at first it wasn't my thing. But once I got more and more into it, the more my heart got into what I was doing. Because when I first started that work, I didn't too much care for it. But then when I started seeing what the people was going through and I see that I can help, it changed my heart. Mm-hmm. It made me a better person. It made me want to help people. And I started understanding mental health more so than I did before. Mm-hmm. Because at first I used to be like, man, what are you tripping? But now I'm like, okay, I understand.
Right.
Because I've been watching this. Because I was a supervisor and they come through and I see they come through with all these problems, but I have to deal with it. I have to somehow find a way to rectify this situation as far as helping instead of being angry with them.
Exactly.
Because they can get you angry. I mean, I didn't got to the point where I didn't have people when I was down there doing my job made me so angry, wanted to take me back in my days. But then my other conscience would say, no, you can't deal with that like that. These people need help. Mm-hmm. Just like you needed help. I'm talking about myself, not you, but me at one point.
Yep.
So once I learned that, I just want the audience to know that I'm not just sitting here trying to impress anyone. I'm sitting here trying to give back whatever I can, because I don't have much. But if I can give you a little bit of knowledge, I'm going to give you that. And these are the type of shows I like to have. Mm-hmm. I want anybody that want to come on here and have a platform and speak on something that can help the next person. That's what I'm looking for. Because I can sit here and go into a story about me that will blow your mind. But I don't want to talk about me. because I got a story.
But again,
You know.
Will, I say, you got a story and I should tell it. Don't you know that there's some people out there that could use that?
Well, you know, maybe I might tell it then. I'm going to tell it one
They
day.
need to tell your story. I appreciate you turning around and going through some of my bio because, you know, I've had a pretty colorful life.
Yes.
Gotten a chance to go down to Texas where I experienced the judicial system, where I was shot by a young man for stealing a TV set out of my house. And when I almost killed me, thank God I'm here to still talk to you guys today.
Yes.
But the judicial system down south, you took me as a criminal, and charged me with aggravated assault. The person that actually shot me only stayed 3 days in jail. I stayed in the hospital. I stayed in a coma for those 3 days. And then I stayed in the hospital for a month and a half. Gunshot wound to the stomach, hollow point bullet. I'm saying all this to say that my experience with the judicial systems was very bad, which made me have a resentment towards the whole judicial system out there. But you know something? I tell this story because, one, I want to show my resilience, my patience, my mother's patience as well, because I was only 19 at the time. But that was a learning experience. And if I could tell that learning experience to somebody and keep them from catching a bullet in their stomach, then I'm going to turn around and tell the story. Okay.
Makes sense to me. And you know what? You just convinced me of something. I was holding back on a lot of things. But on my next segment, I want to share my story because it's powerful.
That's right. And believe me, Will, I am blessed to still be here. I feel that there is some kind of purpose here. And I already know that my purpose is to return what I received from my community back to my community.
Right.
Okay, because one, there's not many of us doing that. Hurt people. Okay, let's just be real about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of those hurting people happen to be people of color.
Yes.
All right, but that's then again, I said that and I had to catch myself. That's just a stereotype that people are putting on us. Okay, and I just bit right off into that myself. No, there are always gonna be good Black people out there in the world struggling to help their community.
Yes.
We need more Black people in the field, out there on the streets, understanding what this condition is and try to better help the individual to help themselves out. Because if you help the individual out, that individual is going to turn around and return that. You just said it yourself, Will.
Yes.
If somebody didn't take a chance on you,
Right.
by the good grace of God, you know? So,
Yes.
And believe me, I feel the same way too. That's why I thank Dr. Dominic, because I would have never known what kind of condition I was in, or even even opened up my mind to the thought of me having a mental health condition.
Right.
So you didn't ask me what I'm doing next.
I'm about to now because we was on the road.
Yes.
What are you doing next?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that, Will.
Okay.
I appreciate all of these agencies. I want to throw that plug out there too. I want to appreciate all these agencies out here like Five Keys. What is it? Urban Alchemy.
I love Five Keys and Urban Alchemy. Yeah.
Those people are actually trying to meet all of us.
Yes.
And not just us as a Black community, but all of us people of color or low income, displaced individuals, where they're at.
Yes.
So I'm right now well, actually, I've been with this community for about maybe 5-6 years now. We started out as a group of individuals meeting during the COVID online every Thursday night, and we called it Talk for Wellness. So as we went on, now this to show you that interaction can come in all shapes and sizes. None of us, which was about 12, none of us actually met in person. We all had met online, and we developed a relationship online. And so when the summertime came around, we started coming out once a month to lunches and getting a chance to meet each other. And we found out that, this was very healing.
Yeah.
This was very healing. This is not something that was we were made to do. This was something that was organic, and it actually worked for our mental well-being. So we decided to turn around and get together under the direction of Tanya Williams and put together a group called Wired Differently, the Proper Way.
Oh.
Okay, so everybody is unique and perfect in their own way. So let's take that stigma of being flawed out of the category. Nobody here is flawed. Okay. Everybody's just wired differently, but it's the proper way. So we've done a few. We've done a few mental health things. I myself have put on a open mic in the Western Edition on the behavioral health side. Why? Because if somebody is stressing 24/7, an hour, 2 hours of just kicking back, relaxing, enjoying some music is so refreshing. I can remember when I was displaced. It was running back and forth. I'm in lines here. I got to go get something to eat here. I got to go try to get my shelter bed there. This was just an opportunity for everybody to just come, have a nice meal. I was able to find some of the local artists out here that were displaced, and I gave them the forum to have a gallery for them to turn around and display their art and give them the feeling of self-worth that the community deserves to, this community actually owes them. These folks out here on the street, they're somebody.
Yeah.
There's somebody, so walk up and talk to one of them. I guarantee you. And believe me, not all of them are just bums too.
Right.
This pandemic, I'll call it a pandemic, this fentanyl and this methamphetamine rage around here is an epidemic. But if you turn around and sit down and talk to some of the victims of this epidemic, there are doctors, there's attorneys, there's some police officers right out there on the street right now.
Yes, sir.
So this is not something that picks and chooses
exactly
who it decides to affect. And even if it does pick and choose, the outcome is that it affects everyone.
Everyone.
So, again, I thank you for having me come out. I appreciate your forum. I appreciate you guys listening to me rattle on here. And I hope that in this particular interview, at this present moment, I hope that I've said something to you that might be beneficial to you.
Yes, you have. And this is not going to be the end of it. We're going to speak on some more things coming up. But we also want to send a shout out, not just to Urban Alchemy and Firekeeper, but to all agencies.
Thank you.
Every last
You're
agency
right. I should have went
that's
down.
involved with helping, with dealing with this crisis that we are going through. We applaud you. We thank you. We're going to work with you. And anything that we can do, feel free to hit up either one of those emails.
Please reach out.
And we do the best we can. And if you need a platform to speak on, my home is more welcome to you. We want to leave you on that note and thank you for tuning in with us. And Greg, you know you got to come back. We got to do another segment.
Always, man.
Okay.
Well, I'm here for you.
We got to do another segment.
I'm here for you.
And for those that's listening, please, if you have anything you want to share that's of some importance, not of no BS, some importance to help the people, please contact us. Feel free, use the platform, share what you like. Thank you, and God bless, and everybody have a blessed day.
Good evening,
Peace.
folks.
How was that, Ryan? That was good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank
right
you.
there. I like
Sure.
that. We're going to do it again, though.
Yeah, okay.
We got a couple.